So the how-to video today is going to be looking at how we train the glutes, but while we're doing it, to do it in such a way that means that we also work through all of the muscles that are responsible for hip movement through every plane. So it's a really, really good way of making sure that you mobilise the hip, work the muscles that enable that mobility through the hip in every single plane of movement, but also constantly train and tone up the glutes. So I'm going to talk you through it as we go along. I'm going to do it with you on both sides tonight rather than just doing one side and letting you do the second, and do a few stretches at the end. Okay, so here we go. We're going to lie on the side. So try and line up the ear, the shoulder, the hip, and then just straighten the top leg out. So you're going to be on your right leg here, leg lifted to hip height. Reach the fingers towards the foot. So you drop the shoulder away from the ear. Okay. Because obviously we want to do this from a point of neutral. Maximise range of movement and lift. And down. Lift. Now try and get the knee straight. Lift. And down. So this is outer thigh muscles. Gluteus medius and minimus. Down. Try and get the knee straight. So you use vastus medialis. Have a look at the how to promote knee stability video. Same thing here, because we haven't got any body weight on a fully extended knee. Okay, so last time, going up and down. Hold it here. Okay, so let's switch to the inner thigh now on the bottom side. So lift the bottom leg and lower. Keep the top leg hip height. So this is hip abduction on the bottom leg. We've just done abduction on the top leg. Down. And lift. And down. So let's do 4 more here. Lift. And down. And lift. And down. 2 more. Lift. And down. Good. Last time. Lift. And down. Okay. Now what I want you to do is to bring both knees forward of the hip. So you've got right angles in the hips and the knees. Shins parallel to me. Okay, so let's go for internal rotation in the hip now. Turn the knee inwards. Okay. And back round. So these are the muscles that enable you to internally rotate the hip. Really feel it coming through here into the glutes. Obviously you've still got your outer thigh activated. In. And round. And last up, I'll squeeze the knee in towards the other one. Keep the leg at hip height. And through. Okay. Now push the knee back in line with the body. And then from there, just push the leg back a bit further and back in line. Push, back in line, push. Now you're extending the hip here. Glutes, gluteus maximus. Yeah, push. Also the hamstrings where they extend the hip. Push, push, push. Okay, last time, and push. Okay, now let's bring the knee back forward in line with the bottom leg. This time, external rotators. Turn the knee out. Try and keep the right angle in the knee. And back round. And again, out. And round. Obviously you've got hip flexors activated here too. And out. And round. And out. And round. Okay, now I want you to keep the knees lined up in front. Squeeze the right heel in towards the back of the leg. Hamstrings where they flex the knee. Of course, again, outer thigh activated. Gluteus medius and minimus. And then try and straighten forward. Full extension, but do it in a controlled way. Come back through, full range. Hamstrings, quads, hip flexors, outer thigh, core with alignment in neutral. And again, straighten. Side of the leg parallel to the ceiling. Okay, and curl. Keep the knees lined up vertically. And straighten. And back. And squeeze. And straighten. Okay, now bend back. Okay, line up. Okay, now just bring the knee in towards the chest. Right angle in the knee, should be able to see along the shin to the foot. And then just come in, release. In. Again, full on glutes. And back, line up. And rest. Okay, so let's just stretch the glutes and the inner thigh and the quads on the side we've used. So your right side. So rolling onto the back. Now if you cross your right ankle just below the left knee, drop the left knee towards the floor. Reach the left hand to the outside of the right knee and just let the inside edge of the right knee come towards the floor. Right shoulder stays facing the ceiling. So you're stretching out the outer thigh here. Back. Now, what I want you to do here is to thread your right leg underneath the left, get hold of the foot with the left hand. So you get that nice quad stretch and hip flexor stretch. There's a bit of inner thigh stretch here as well. Only a little bit, but that's fine because this isn't the side that we actively worked on, the inner thigh. We're going to do a good inner thigh stretch at the end. Okay, and come back. So if you just roll onto the side, coming through the centre, and let's do the other side. So again, coming down, knees forward, line up, middle of the ear, shoulder, hip. Straighten the left leg this time. So again, side of the leg, parallel to the ceiling, lock the knee. Take the opportunity to work on vastus medialis just by having this knee extended. Okay, reach down with the left hand. Okay, here we go. So we're lifting up and down. So outer thigh, gluteus medius and minimus. See core, maintain position. Keep breathing. Keep pulling the waist in away from the floor. And down. And again. Back to hip height. And lift. Lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Okay, bottom leg. Lift. And down. Try and keep the foot level with the knee. As far as you can. Inner thigh. Hip abduction. Bottom leg. Lift. And lift. So you've still got the gluteus medius and minimus on the top leg. Lift. And lift. Okay, last time. Lift. And down. Okay, both knees forwards in front of the hip. Right angles in the knees and the hip. Shins parallel to me. Okay, now turn the knee in. Internal rotators. And back round. And again, turn in. And round. Turning in, so really squeeze the knee in, foot up. And round. And again. And round. Now push, keep the knee bent, push back with the top leg. So it's in line with the body and then just push back further, release. Push full on gluteus maximus now. Obviously with medius and minimus here too. Push, keep reaching down with the left hand. Push. Keep pulling the waist in away from the floor. And again, now bring it back in front. Now this time, external rotators. Turn it out. the top hip right above the bottom hip. So they're lined up vertically. Try not to drop the hip back like that, yeah? Rotate out, external rotators. Fantastic mobility for the hip too. And round. Again, we've still got all this glute area here. And out. And round. And out. We squeeze it out. Keep a right angle in the knee. And round. Okay, so when we push back with the knee in line with the body, we've got hip extension there. Hamstrings there too, as well as main glutes. Let's get the hamstrings now by squeezing in where they flex the knee. Tight as you can, and then come out, straight and forward. Extend the knee, quads. But in a really controlled way, side of the leg parallel to the ceiling, and bend. Keep the knees lined up vertically. Squeeze in. And extend. Back through, knees lined up. Squeeze the heel in. And extend. So we've got the last one on this one. And squeeze. And extend. And bend back. So you line up. Right angles in the knees and the hips. Now bring the top knee in. Right angle, so you should be able to see along the shin to the foot. Pulse, release, full on glutes. See there's some hip flexing here too. Knee flexion, so hamstrings there. So much work through loads of muscles. Two more. Last one. And push back, line up. Good, and rest. Good job. Let's just stretch now onto the back. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Okay, so you've just done your left leg. Cross the left ankle outside of, just below the right knee. Drop the right knee towards the floor. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left palm of the hand on the floor, left shoulder facing the ceiling. Just try and relax into this stretch now, so you get the outer thigh into the glutes area here, inside edge of the left knee coming towards the floor. This stretch is also really good for back mobility, transverse plane back mobility here. Come back through, and then we just bring the left leg through underneath the right hand gets hold of the left foot, thread it under. Try and drop the knee as close to the floor as you can to get a really nice stretch of your hip flexors and quads. Be a bit of inner thigh too, as I say, not a lot, but obviously it's the opposite leg anyway working. We'll just do a nice inner thigh stretch now on the way up. Okay, and release. Both feet back on the floor, hands to the small of the back. Use the hands to push up. to sitting. Nice and easy, legs wide. Nice inner thigh here now. And obviously a bit more here. Straightening the knees, we get this nice stretch here through the hamstrings and forward. Try and keep the knees facing the ceiling and the legs straight. Inhale and down. Exhale. Now just hold it here. If you find that you can't get these knees straight, the trouble with that is that you're missing a bit of the hamstrings. So you just stay in the straddle stretch, combined inner thigh, hamstrings, if you're comfortable. If not, let me give you an alternative. You just have one leg straight, other foot in above the knee, and just come down. You get some inner thigh stretch here too, and hamstrings obviously on this leg. Just stay in the straddle if you're happy with that one, or just do this one with me. Again, just try and relax into it. Really important to do these stretches. So lying on the back, we did outer thigh into the glutes, and we did quads and hip flexors. Now we're doing hamstrings, inner thigh. Okay, and coming up. Now if you're in straddle, bring the legs together, legs through, onto the feet, and roll up. Head and shoulders up last. Well done.